Hey boys and girls, I'm back. It's been a couple of weeks, more than a couple of weeks, probably a month since I've done one of these, but we are making progress on site. We've got the pendants in, the medical pendants. So we'll just have a quick look at this, and I'll probably, in this video, I'll catch up on where we're up to at the moment, because again, it's probably been at least a few weeks since I did my last vlog-ish video for this hospital. I've been flat out, honestly. I've been doing a lot of overtime on the weekends at a separate job, and we've had a couple of financial hiccups with this job. Got nothing to do with me, but between my boss and the builder here. But it's all getting sorted out, and we're still working here. Nothing's slowed down, but I've just stopped doing weekends here for the time being. I'll probably kick back into that this weekend, maybe. We'll see what happens. Again, you guys don't give a shit about that, so I'm just going to show you the pendants here, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video and whatever else is coming up. Alright, so here's one of the main arms. So it's just got UPS and essential outlets on one side, and these, once the power's on, these will just move with like a finger touch. At the moment you can sort of push it, but there's a lot of resistance there. So that's just all the medical gas. So these hoses here are where the medical gases hook up in the ceiling, which you can see the fittings there. The plumbers were back in recently, and then these are all the power cables. So there's a motor in that thing that I guess is an assistance driven sort of thing, and then we've got the UPS, the essential, and then I think there's a couple of spares. There's a couple of spares in there, so that all gets capped off, and then we've got the European colours here. But basically, because this is a cardiac room, we've got our frame earths, which are the black cables. I know that's not typically right, having black cables as an earth, but for whatever reason this particular company's doing that, but that's fine. So they get hooked up to one of my equipotential bond earths up there, and then the actual circuit earths, so the earth cable there is what actually lines up with the pins on the outlets there. So I'm not sure about the black, but anyway, it is what it is. This is this cardiac protected shit is just fucking driving me up the wall. Anyway, these are the two surgical lights, trying to say that. And then the third arm off the surgical light pendant is for like a monitor, like a TV. It'll be a TV monitor, and it sort of shows what the surgeon is seeing. And this is some of the control for the surgical light. So that's what it looks like in the guts. So they get tucked up there in the roof space. So yeah, the Sparky, I'm not actually wiring these up. They've got their own electrician, and then there's some more of these to go in over in the other theatres. But yeah, so all good. None of this gear's mine. It's all the other Sparkies. But yeah, they're installing the pendants. The pendants go up real quick. Those brackets that we had up there, they're just fucking screw them straight in. They just use one of the winding things that the aircon guys use. Yeah, we got the lights in this room the other day. Yeah, so as far as progress goes in the operating theatres, like this one's for sure the furthest along. I'm still waiting on those outlets there, the RCD integrated ones, and we're using some Vargos here to, these are our Dali controllers for our fancy like touch button. Well, I'm not sure what sort of buttons we're getting here, but this has 8 channels, 4 channels each on these controllers. So you know, we could potentially have up to 8 buttons. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, eh? Not too bad at all, not too shabby. I'll go take some updated videos. I've been real slack. I haven't been taking any videos. I've been a little bit discontent with the go slow, because just for me, like typically on this part of the job, I am pumping the hours. You know, I'll be doing 10 or 12 hour days to try and get the job over the line. technically we were supposed to be finished in a month, but it's really going to push out for like till Christmas, I reckon. We'll have a go slow period. So we'll ramp up with labour for like the next few weeks, and then just because of the nature of the fiddly jobs that I'm waiting on little bits and pieces for, probably just been me and an apprentice like the last month or so, month or two, and you know, just finish off the job myself, which is good. It means I get to wear a tool belt a little bit more, and actually do some of the work myself, which is good because I always miss it when I'm running like 10 guys and I don't get to be on the tools at all. It fucking gets to me after a little while, so it's good to have a bit of you know, bit of variety. Right, so that's how that ended up looking. Just got these little some shorts from my Decon cable. They do the power for the 5 volt there. USBs, I just cable tied them up nicely. Plug, that just does a loop around, and they both go into those 2 ports there. This one here is for programming, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, just the line of neutral just loops across, and it also picks up this this controller here. Had all the waterproofing done on the concrete roof. It's short and sweet here, but yeah, there's some trim to go on that there, but a couple of downlights in that little section there, but this is us otherwise. We've got our light fittings out here. It's just a few button lights, a little bit of conduit work up there, that button light and exit, that's about it. All this is all hooked up. Those glands are all good. And these cable ties on us, that's the mechanical fellas, so those glands are a bit of a mess. I still need to make, I've got a box coming for this, so I have to get up here and put that up at some stage, but yeah, that's good. Just halfway through tackling this monstrosity, the 7-gang switch plate. So the cables are labelled in there, and it's I think 8 including the feed, so I'd double up the BP connectors and just put a link in between them. I tried to get all 8 in there, but didn't quite fit. It was close though, it was close. Alright, so they're the switches. They're not a clipsal switch. I'm not sure how I feel about, but that's fine. My only concern with these is I'm halfway thought they were supposed to be double pole, like isolate the neutral and the, that's why I ran all the switch wire neutral earths to here, because I thought they were double pole switches, but I guess these guys know better than me. ESCO, they do this shit all the time. They build these panels and they line isolation monitors, and we've done a few other panels in this room now. Just got those 2 little ones to go, so it's coming along. We're maxed out. And crash course in driving this thing. Just flick buttons until you fucking get where you want to go, right? Bit janky, but that's basically what we had to do. We can't drop the size of the cables too much because we can't wind the breaker down too much. So what we did, that's a 50mm to 35mm reducing barrel lug, and then we've sleeved it the rest of the way just to maintain our double insulation. I don't like it, but it's the code, and you know, it's fine, I suppose. I still don't like this, but anyway, so it's just a loop between this auxiliary supply and the main supply. So the machine, I don't know why you can't flick a switch in this machine and you know, not require like a cable, but apparently it needs it. I don't understand, like it's got something to do with the changeover switch, the what are they called, the bypass switch over there, and this. So if you don't have a, anyway, I'm not going to get into it because I don't actually understand why you need it, but Danny's done a pretty decent job of that. and I've don't have much copper poking out at all. Clamped down pretty tightly. I mean, what can you do? It's 235mm fucking stranded cables, like. But it's what the manufacturer wanted, so we've done it. And out of the news here, the IT guys have been in and they've pre-patched everything. I mean, job's not even close to done, but this is all finished, so we'll just have to wrap these rooms up and keep them clean. I'm just waiting on some more captive plugs for the power rails at the back there. So there's 2 big power rails, and we need to have a captive plug because it screws into the outlet there. So yeah, it's all coming along. Let's just a quick look at it. What the fucking fuck is going on here? Love a fucking bodge job. Nice. Get a dose of VB up you in the mornings, boy. Ah. Yeah. Fancy units, sterilizing machine. It's got a big 6mm flex lead. So yeah, it's a 32A supply for this. Yeah, this is the unit. Stirad. You put your dirty poo pipes in there and send them through, and it gets chemically cleaned. This is a low temperature thing. So I've got my gland on there. I'll just screw it up into that and fit it off. Easy done. So just do a little continuity check. Obviously you don't want anything. That's good. That's good. That's good. And this should be a low resistance to neutral. Perfect. Alright, so we whack it on INSO, 500 volt airs, and we will go earth to phases first. Off scale high, off scale high, lovely. We're on neutral now. Go through again. Good. B phase. Good. And C phase. Lovely. Okay, so now we just go between phases. Yep, into blue. Good. We swap the clip over because we've already done red to blue. And that's it. We've got a nice safe board to turn on. Right, so I didn't get it on video because it's just redoing stuff again, but I tested the chassis. Chassis bars to earth and neutral, and yeah, I grabbed one of the boys and we identified, just bridged out the outgoing and belted out or continuity checked it at the outlet. So I've got that on now. It's live to the top of the outlet, and when old mate gets back from lunch he can turn the isolator up there on and run his machine. So yeah, I just chopped this out of a 32 amp plug. Just so you guys know, this is illegal according to AS3000. You can't solder flexible copper or any copper like this and have it under a screw terminal, because eventually it'll break. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other reasons, but the thermal properties of the solder and the copper are slightly different, so it'll expand and contract shittily at a shitty rate, and eventually it'll break the termination. So I don't know why manufacturers and like people, you know, doing, you know, installs on the machine do this, but yeah, it's a violation of AS 3000. So if you see this, chop it off and put a ferrule on it like a fucking pro guy. Just had a cheeky visit to Sydney Tools and show you what I got. And one of these, TCT 50mm. Or a bunch of these TCTs, but no 50mm, so that was uber expensive. And joined the Festool Club. Oh yeah! It's pretty cheap for a Festool tool, gotta be honest, but you know, I'm in the club now. Now we're gonna do some precision cleaning. Oh. Maybe I should have got the high torque model. Nice. Just a basic one here. Spiky per tip, you call it. It's any trade pro tip though. You want to find the center of a ceiling tile. If you just get a straight edge that will span the diagonal, just go corner to corner and corner to corner, and you'll find that no matter what size the tile is, you'll find the center. Right? So it's a pretty easy method. These are 600 tiles. There should be about 300 to the center there, and there it is, spot on. So it's 1200 long. You know, I mean, that's quick and easy. It's a lot quicker than getting this out every time as well, especially if you're doing funny shaped ones. It still gets you the center every time. Have a look at that, eh, boys? I'm not sure exactly on the cost of this thing, but it was hundreds of thousands of dollars. Medical microscope. I think they use this for like laser eye surgery and stuff like that. Protective cap. But yeah, does it move? No, it's sort of locked at the moment. I won't fiddle with it too much. The guys are still building it. But yeah, how's that for a cool little... Look at the guts up there. This is all equipment up there too. I'll get another look at this later when they're a little bit more done, because the guys are still in here fucking around with it. So yeah, cool, isn't it?
And his son goes, I'll leave him to dry off. I went about 15 minutes later and just flushed him with this. Friggin' killing.
I'm ready. Zoom out. Hey! Give me more! More power! Travis. What? It's tripping. This is tripping. We got a fault already. Cool. Alright, been doing some testing on some lights today. It's gone pretty well. I had one out of place cable, which was my fault, but I fixed that up pretty easily. I'll just actually quickly show you what the issue was. So on my lighting circuit, it's marked as 73, but it's actually, like on the lighting chassis, it's number 13. So on circuit 13 there, I actually had my, I think it was my neutrals mixed up between 73 and 71. So when I fit the board, I must have just popped them both in the wrong hole. Sorry about the sniffles, it's mad hay fever season here. Or Coke season, whichever. Yeah, so to fix that over in the field, which is down the end there, that illuminated room, I just went and bridged with my, I'll show you what it is I suppose. I bought these cheap leads off eBay. They just live in the top of my box. It's just a, you know, just an alligator clip lead. Right. So I went and bridged active and neutral over there, and you can easily just identify with a continuity tester, you know, which fucking cable was which, because it was tripping on it was an RCD trip, not a short circuit trip. You know the difference. RCD trips will just trip. Short circuit trips will pop. It'll go, you know. So that was the problem. My bad. And in a perfect world, I would have had all this tested, but you know, in the commercial game, when there's no time and you're pressed for time the entire time, sometimes you don't have the chance to do this. So I do my live testing, checking all polarity and stuff, you know, when I'm turning the circuits on. So I've got most of the circuits on in the theatres now, so I'll show you that quickly. But I did want to also show you, so these little lockout dogs, so those circuits are specifically not safe to turn on at the moment. There's cables hanging out of the roof. I've got a big Vito bag full of these things. I bought them off eBay like a while ago. The red ones and the silver ones, they're all the same. The only, like, these things are great for this, so as an accidental, like I can't turn that on accidentally, but when you screw it in, it's they're too long. Sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry, someone just wanted me there, but I've got, yeah, they're actually too long. So that screw needs to be flush at the moment. It'd be piercing into the breaker. So you actually can't put a lock through these. So they're great for like just a preventative, like, oh, I can't touch that, or accidentally I don't want to turn that one on, I want to turn that one on. Accidental, perfect. For a lockout, they're shit. So if you actually want to lock out, you need to go to my other bag here, which sort of, they go hand in hand at the moment. You know, and you've got the actual proper, you know, for that sort of breaker, you know, and then those style ones which actually screw through, and as you can see the difference there, we're piercing, but we've got full clearance on that end. So that's the reason. There's a few more of them in there, but yeah, so just as a safety precaution, when I start turning on circuit breakers too, I'll identify the ones that are unsafe to, you know, for various reasons on this job it's been a little slow, but I'll identify the unsafe ones to turn on, and I'll pop those dogs on them just to prevent me from accidentally flicking, you know, 27 on when I should have took 25, for instance. Alright, so that's just a little tidbit. Just as a little add-on, my lighting circuits here, I've bridged out my emergency test switch contactor setup here. I want that to remain open circuit, like they're closed circuit, like normally closed contactors. That's how like an emergency lighting system will work. It's got a key, this has a key switch and a timer in it. I don't want that timer to go off. I wish I could force the key and just leave it, you know, leave the key engaged, but it won't, it'll switch back. So what I've done, I've just used a Wago here, and I've bridged between active and the EL, which is the, I guess the key side. It's the output side of that key. When you turn that key, it'll send a signal to those breakers to open, and that will test all the emergency lights. So I don't want the emergency lights to be on and off when I'm turning the circuits on and off. I can't turn these lights off at the moment because they're Daly circuit fittings, and I actually need to program the Daly before I can turn them off. So I will be turning them off at the breakers here. So I don't want the batteries to discharge every time I do it, so all the emergency lights are just gonna think that they haven't been turned on at all. So yeah, that's the thought process behind that. It's getting hot here, man. Not like humidity hot. It's hard to stomach. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. In fact, I'll show you the pendants. The pendants are in those rooms now, so I'll show you them before I go. I did show you this the other day, but I've got the lights on now, so it's better. So it's just a quick squeeze. Right, so we've got the anaesthetic pendant. This is going to have a TV monitoring thing. And then we've got the two surgical lights. These things are cool, super cool. Let's see if I can pull this one down and show you. Yeah, so like you've got all these different, you can set the focal distance. Can't wait to have a little play with this actually. So, and then yeah, we've got the surgical pendant. So you've got all the gases here. Gases come down on those tubes, they get fixed up on the ceiling up there. I think I said this the other day. And then we're going to have to put some data points here. So I was just discussing with the builder what to do, because that's an articulating arm. The data's not going to survive forever in a moving arm. So we're probably going to put some permanent joining connectors in the roof. Just run some cable in and then replace it when it fails in a couple of years' time. But yeah, mate, it's starting to look like a surgery. You know? Long time coming. Still got all those to do, ongoing. If you're following these series, mate, like it's been like 3 months that I've been waiting for them. It's fucking ridiculous. And these are little the Dali controllers that you know, we'll have like a nice glass-ish looking touch button thing sort of there. Yeah. I've got eight inputs there. The 2 of these in parallel gives me 8 inputs, so we'll get to that too. Alright, I'm out. I'm gonna go get an iced coffee. Cut the hole! Fellas are here doing the gas line. Been waiting for the gas line for quite a while. It's going to go on that pad there. So, dug that out. There's a high pressure line. I think it's 800 kPa. Like everyone would die in a fucking mile radius or some shit. Fucking crazy plumbers doing dodgy shit. Boys and girls, minor updates. UPS system is being worked on again. The fella tech, whatever his name's Dave too, must be a legend. So he's come out and has replaced some of the innards. I missed a chance taking a photo. I've had a very busy day here today, just running around. I've had a bit going on, so I actually missed. He had all this pulled off, and there's capacitor banks and cards that do switching and DC charging and all that sort of jazz. I've still got to get him to give me a hand with some of this stuff. But he's docked off to replace these fuses blue. I don't know if you missed an earlier video. This system, they come out to commission it, and when we tried to turn it on, a bunch of the fuses like quietly blew. So these fuses are dead, and they're the DC fuses, and a couple of AC fuses blew as well. So the incoming AC fuses. Very strange, like real strange setup. So we've done a little rejig of the cabling that we had originally. This is heat shrunk, but it is double insulated here. We heat shrunk to cover. We had to drop the size down from 50mm to 35 to fit to, this is on, but yeah. We had to fit 2 35mm in the terminals. It just fit with 35mm. We overspec'd the cable. Well, I mean, we followed our plan. We followed our drawings, but you know, the UPS guys are the experts, and they came out and said, oh, no, you don't need anywhere near that much. These are some more of the fuses that are in there. 160 amp fuse. So one of these popped when I was in here. Well, you know, popped. I like to say popped, but it just no noise, no smell, nothing. Just open circuit, top and bottom. So it's a very strange little thing that's going on in this room. Yeah, just a little quick update. So, I mean, we've got the lights done in here. Most of the fit off is done up in these rooms, so I'll show you the comms room, or because it's close as well. yeah, so we've got the lights up, just suspended on rod because this is all being exposed to show off all the cable porn. The NTDs for the NBN stuff is in. Just going on. I've got to run another one of these aerial cables out for a 4G aerial and install that. It comes in pairs of 2. I didn't realise. I thought they got us an extra aerial, so that's got to go up on the roof with the other one, and I've got to run that aerial cable with it. This is the first one that we ran. So it goes out. There's a plant room there. It goes outside to where that mechanical services board is out there. So yeah, I've done some patching in stuff and yeah, a bit of IT shit that I don't understand, which is all well and good. But yeah, so moving right along. Just a little update. The lights above me here, they will be on very soon as well. Just waiting for the last fitting to come, which will go right there. So that one goes in. We'll have permanent stairwell lighting, which is absolutely lovely. And yeah, that's it too. It's looking good.